Hey, welcome back. It is a Thirsty Thursday here on Liquid Lunch on Newsmax TV. I'm John Tobacco. We're coming to you today from the downtown studios of Newsmax. We're in the Question Tequila studios. And every single day, we bring on what I call the Mix It Up segment, where we bring on a red person from the Republican side, a blue person from the Democrat side, and we throw out topics of the day. I sit back, shake myself up a drink, and let them slug it out. One condition is this: we have a thoughtful conversation. When it's all over, we shake hands and we part friends. Joining me today is the colorful Daniel Christmann. He was a candidate for New York City Public Advocate. He's a libertarian organizer, radio commentator, and one of the more colorful people in the race. I remember when you spoke in Brooklyn, you were fantastic. And Rob Taub, great friend of the show. He's a humorist. He's also the ambassador for the American Diabetes Association. Yes. And if you know about their campaign, No Diabetes by Heart.
.org.
That's the guy. Go to nodiabetes.byheart.org to see how you can help. Rob's always helping. Now, you guys help me out. I'm tired. Okay, Frank's been beating me up for the first hour. I'm going to throw out the topics and say nothing because he said I'm interrupting too much. So, Dan, I want to go to you first. Giuliani associates arrested. Go.
Giuliani associates arrested. I mean, what's the big surprise? We're in the middle of a witch hunt, and it's like we're in the middle of a witch hunt, but we're minimizing what this is. This is geopolitical, the elite running the oil industry, the banking systems, the Saudis, China and the tariffs. Everything's coming to a head at once. And that investigation on Ukraine is really bringing down the whole system. And, you know, I have to wonder, I have no facts, it's just a question. That bank bailout, how does this bank bailout correlate to what they were doing over there with those oil futures in the Ukraine, how Turkey is going for pipelines? A lot of it is a pipeline war. And, you know, the corruption goes straight up to Whitey Bulger, Bulger's nephew. The whole thing's just been corrupt the whole time.
This is going all the way to Boston.
Wow.
Right,
well, yeah, I mean.
We're into the underbelly of the mob.
Getting into the car, going to Boston. Okay. Well, I just heard from my Twitter feed, so this is just all I know is what I read in the papers, is what Will Rogers once said. All I know is what I see on Twitter now, that the two gentlemen, Giuliani's associates, were arrested because they were attempting to flee the country. I can't confirm that that's fact, but it seems that the Southern District of New York prosecutors are acting very quickly on that. And based on what I've read in the New York Times, they were spending a lot of money quite flagrantly at strip clubs, restaurants, hotels, and it just seems like there's a lot of criminal acts with these two characters.
So Rudy's friends were spending money. This is what you're alleging in strip clubs.
From what I've read in the New York Times, the paper of record.
I just threw that thing off the set, the New York Times. But
I like it.
Rudy's a big player in this. Rudy's been a big, he's been a huge part of the world political theater for the last 30 years. And of course they're going to try to take him down because he's probably the most credible person we have, right? And they're going to go after him, they're going to take him down, and they're going to drive it to him. But the sad part is what we're not looking into is how is this all going to affect us? Because what's going on with gas and what's going on with the left and what they're doing by trying to publicize utilities and really lock down transportation and even implement bicycle driver's licenses and and they want, the government to control the cable distribution. It's right on Julia Salazar's website. And if you haven't looked into that yet, you better. And what's happening is the left, now they are going for their submission because we're exposed.
They're going for the rear naked choke.
Well, just the left is responsible for all this?
Without question. They're responsible for everything.
No, I'll correct you.
They're responsible for everything.
The right is responsible for, we have been so divided. And even in the right upswing in this city and all over the place, everyone's trying to get their perch. It's like whenever you're trying to defeat this evil system and do good out there, all the other ones that are doing good with you are trying to take you down too. And the right isn't as united as the left. Look at how wonderful everyone is to cover Biden. And when I was in conservative country out in Colorado, they weren't even sure if they were going to back Trump. And the left will back an absolute war criminal.
All right, let's mix this up.
Yeah, let's mix it up.
I'd like to mix it up. I'm going to use I'm going to use the French word, a mélange. So if we're going to go there, let's talk something that affects both sides, which is
I would like to.
the fragility of the Constitution and the laws in our country, because things usually go along pretty smoothly in our government, and we don't see something like this happening.
An outsider knocks off 17 Republicans and the top Democrat and blows the establishment.
We are involved in a crisis, John. Like it or not, there's a crisis.
Trump being president is a crisis.
He's created a crisis.
No, the crisis is the people of tolerance. Your folks on the left, they're so tolerant until they don't like the idea doesn't match with theirs. Then they're completely intolerant. And they made such a big deal about, oh, Donald Trump has no path to victory. We're talking about polls and how all these people want to impeach him.
Let's talk about what's going on with Turkey and what he's done there.
No, I don't care
Let's
about
talk
Turkey. Actually, I have I have a good friend in Turkey. You know, I care about Turkey, but I don't care about. I care about what's happening here.
Do we have any
Look
turkey
at
in
what the
fridge?
Democrats just
We're
did.
feeling the repercussions.
Look at what the Cuomo Democrats, who illegally put in a gas-powered power plant in Slate Hill, illegally did that, had just scandal on his hands, just as bad as Biden.
I don't like Cuomo.
Look at good, and you should be as outraged as anybody else, but you probably voted for him.
We ring the
No,
bell.
I did not.
Okay,
When a
that
Democrat
was
was
I didn't vote
I
for
shouldn't
Bill
have
Blasio.
When we all
accused
agree,
anyone.
I
Hold
ring
on.
the bell. None of us like Cuomo, right?
Yes,
All right, we're all in
absolutely
agreement.
not.
You see, it happens.
But-
These guys are not getting paid to agree with me.
But the Elliot Angles of the world and the Chuck Schumers of the world were smart enough to quietly warn all the Democrats in New York State to say, yo, there's something really big coming with the fossil fuels, and we better get our oh-so-precious pension plans that are driving us into an oblivion off of fossil fuels right now.
I might not argue with that, other than I don't think Chuck Schumer has ever said "yo" before, but he's Harvard educated.
Yeah, I'm sure he's done a lot worse than that.
Two agreements in one segment. This is big. Let me ask you this, guys. There's this new poll out, supposedly from Fox, which is lurching to the left more and more every
Lurching.
week.
They're
The new
following
poll
the
from
truth.
Fox says that 51% of Americans support impeachment. Okay? And as I've told our audience before, most of these polls mean nothing because they're skewed. And when you go behind into the methodology they use on the polls, they poll more Democrats, but they forget to tell you that. And then there's this simple little thing in math called the margin of error. And a poll has a 3.5-point margin of error, so they could be wrong 3.5% this way, 3.5% that way. So they could be, if they're wrong, it could be 7%. So it could actually be 44% of the people, but Fox is spinning it.
Yes.
See, but you said this is a good poll.
Yeah,
It's a CFR poll. It's a Fox poll. I'm sorry.
that means
but
that they
Fox,
asked 10 people in the control room what they think.
Yes, yeah. You think Kennedy's really out there
We're
pushing
gonna
the
do a liquid
envelope?
lunch poll. You know what? I'm gonna text all my friends from Staten Island.
Can I stop people after this segment
Yeah,
outside and ask them what they think about it?
Did you know
We should
that-
do
I
that.
did
you
that
know
a little
that
while
Fox
ago. I
News-
got
We'll
a
do
date.
Rob on the
Did you guys know
street or
that
something.
Fox News contributes to NPR? I mean,
I would imagine that almost
even
every
on
network,
Fox News with Laura
contributes to
Ingraham.
NPR.
Laura Ingraham is sitting there cutting Giuliani off. When Giuliani even gets on Fox News these days, he has to fight for his life to say what he's doing.
think Fox
and
News is too
I think
liberal?
the
That's
CFR
right.
is on
They
the
are
hook
getting
with
there.
this
They are
gas
getting there.
crisis
I mean,
and the China crisis, and they're shook.
Shepard Smith is just running rampant.
To
He's like
defend Shep Smith,
racing to the lefty liberal finish line.
Shep Smith is a real, honest-to-God newsman who reads the news and delivers it, and he's not highly opinionated.
Okay.
Bada bing.
We're not going to be that opinionated either. Yeah, we are. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back and mix it up just a bit more right after this. You're watching Liquid Lunch.